Welcome to Cookie Decorating Livestream, where we focus on all things cookies. Hi everyone, it's Hani here. Welcome. I wanted to say hello to everyone who is in the comment section there. Hi Heather. Cooler than normal Chattanooga. That's nice to hear. Everybody, we've been complaining about the heat all summer long, so it's nice to hear it's cooler somewhere. Hi Kathy, nice to see you again. Hello, Heather. How is it going? Hi, Angie. Hey, Susan. Say hello to Dutch from me. Hello, Karen. You made it. Yay. On time. Hi, Sherry. Or is it Sherry or Cherry? I have asked you before. I think it's Sherry. Hello, Sally. Hello, hello. Waving to everyone. How is it going, guys? Today we are going to do gaming cookies. I don't know about you. Are you guys gamers, or do you know anyone who is a big gamer? Hello, Melody. Also cooler. That's nice. Maybe we are finally headed for fall. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Linda. So let me know if you are a gamer. What is your favorite game you like to play? I was always a big fan of Tetris. I don't know if is it considered to be a video game? I'm so old. But I love Tetris so much. I don't think you can get it anymore. But I did put together some photos of cookies that I did that were related to the game world somewhat. So a couple of years ago, I did Pac-Man, Game Over, graduation cap cookies. Many moons ago, my friends' kids, they were into Minecraft. So I made a Minecraft cake for them. I forget the name. Is it the Elderman and the Piggy? And then I also made, you see the Rice Krispie treats there? That's I believe it's called I should have prepared better. Dirt blog, I think these are called. These are really yummy. I have a recipe for these just for the Rice Krispie treats on the blog. And I also made these. This is a creeper, super simple cookie on the bottom. Dough is colored with green, and then I just used a little template, and I used a pin to make holes, and then I connected them to make the design. But you could also use a stencil. That might be even easier. I have a full tutorial on that on my YouTube channel. And the image at the very top, you may be curious what's going on there. So I wanted to create something that didn't require any decorating with real icing. And so I used garlic press, I believe it was, or was it a mashed potato press, to push the dough out, and it came out in a bunch of strings, and I attached it and made it look kind of like the dirt block from Minecraft. Let's see. Angie is not a video game player, but I do get a lot of requests for gamer cookies. Minecraft, yes, Minecraft is very popular. I've done a bunch of Minecraft and Fortnite, I haven't done Fortnite. I wanted to do that many years ago. I wanted to do a gingerbread house, but it's still on the list. I think I have a design somewhere. I also did, and this is not I don't think this, I did, remember Candy Crush? I think it's still around. This is like 12 years old, I think, or something like that. So I did that. And then Angry Birds inspired Easter eggs. I also did Angry Birds. This is like a fruit dessert I did. And I did for Best Fiends. This is a popular, my husband still plays this game. It's crazy. It's a popular video game. So I made the characters. And also remember, I wanted to show you, this is not a video game, but I did make a game. Let's see in the comments. Hey, Judy. Oh, Linda plays. I love PlayStation 4, playing games that need some brain and also are a bit trigger happy. I guess you playing. Is that a game? I don't know. But that's awesome. We had to get rid of the PlayStation because somebody wouldn't get any sleep in the house, so we had to sell it because we have somebody has a competitive site. Hi, Judy. Hello, hello. Okay, and you still play Candy Crush. That's fantastic. I think games are good. I don't think I'm not I'm not against games when it's kind of monitored, so you don't invest 24 hours a day to games. But I think games can really help you if it's helping you relax, or like Linda said. What is it that Linda said? When you're kind of using your brain, yeah, exactly. If it improves your cognitive functions and stuff like that. So that's great. All right, if I can remove this. All right, I can. And okay, I wanted to show you one thing. I did this years ago, and this was such a big hit. Let me, if I can figure out. Okay, do you remember this? Do you remember fidget spinner? I came across this few weeks ago, and I am like, I need to make this again. Have you guys gotten a fidget spinner? I think it was 2017, 16 when it kind of like became viral. And so I designed these cookies, and these were a big hit. I enjoyed making them. But today we're going full on with the video game world. And so I decided to do I wanted to include video game controller, but I don't have a cookie cutter, and I didn't feel like making a new batch of cookie dough. So I wanted to use the cookies that I already baked. Okay. And so I used a t-shirt. I had some t-shirt cookies, and I thought it would be great to use those. So what I did, I looked up online. That's how I do all of my searches. Well, a lot of the searches, video game t-shirts or something like that, and it gave me some general ideas of like designs and stuff. And then I designed. Let's go ahead and okay. So this is the t-shirt cookie. I also, guys, put everything in the coffee. If you wanted to check out, all the templates are in there. And in that bundle, you get a video controller stencils, including the controller and also the loading stencil, video game controller transfer sheets, t-shirt cookie cutter template, controller cutter template, and game on writing template. So everything is in that bundle. I'm going to put a link to that bundle in the comment section while we are icing this cookie. This is the speed that you normally work. This is not sped up or anything, so I'm slow. Hello, Colleen. All right, so these are let me just put a note there. These are templates for today's project. They're all in the coffee shop. And if you enjoyed the live stream, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. All right, so I also optioned for gray. And I was playing with the idea of using black, but then I decided to stay away from black because black is such a annoying color to color, and then it's just dark, so gray. It's a very kind of like unisex also, like girls and boys will wear. Not that the black will not. Okay, I'm getting all lost here, but you know what I mean. Black is hard to achieve, gray is easier to achieve, and it's also kind of a bit friendlier, I feel like, for the all the genders. And it's not as dark. Yeah, I like it because it's a bit lighter. All right, so I am using 15-second consistency here throughout the whole thing, outlining and flooding. And then we're going to have to let this dry. Okay, so you can do this first and then forget about it. Let it set on a flat tray. Don't move it. These cookies are fairly big. Well, big. I mean, they're not... I don't have I think it's like 3.5 inches across, I think. Oh, let me remove this. I can't see. Yeah, it is so fun. It is so fun to make for the kids. It's so fun to make. There, since I made it, there are a lot of different tutorials, so you can find different approaches of how to connect the two pieces. But I can't remember what I use now, so I can't tell you. It's on a YouTube. All right. So the next step was to make the controller, and I decided to do the controller as transfer, which is great because you can then pop it virtually on any shape, and it will make it all like you put it on a hard, maybe put a fun pun on it. Look up some fun gaming puns online, and you can just write it there, and there you have it. Or you can just put name on it, or um, write gamer, or level 2 or level 5, and so on. Maybe you can check with the recipient what level they are on, and you can use that. All right, so here we go. So this is my little transfer sheet, and for that, I put my transfer sheet into a protector sheet. This is a clear, smooth protector sheet, and I'm using about 20-second consistency. I decided to go again. I'm steering away from the black because I looked it up. There are controllers in different colors, so obviously I wanted to use a different color than black. And so I'm using this lovely blue. This is a sapphire blue from Brogel, but you can use royal blue also. It's such a nice color. And it's about 20-second consistency around there. Yes, exactly. Plus black can leave your teeth a funny color. Yes, I agree, Heather. So you want to make these, you can make these ahead of time. What's great about transfers, you know how much I love transfers. I use them all the time. You can make these ahead of time and have them ready anytime you want to perhaps surprise your neighbor's son or something with a little bit of like a sweet gaming treat. And you can just pop them on the cookies, or if you use a little bit of ice chocolate, you could probably pop them on a cupcake as well. And when these are drying, I highly recommend that you put them on a tray. If you do have plexiglass available or something like that, you can pipe them. You can secure your protector sheet onto the plexiglass, and then it's just so much easier to move those, and just but don't try to move them too much as they're drying, because you can develop hairlines in the icing. All right. So once these are fully dry, we're gonna do some airbrushing, which is really fun. And I know a lot of you are so scared. I don't know if Charlie is here, but don't be scared. Airbrushing is fun. If you don't have an airbrush, you don't have to use an airbrush. You could just use icing, or you could use markers to finish this off. I'm going to, however, show you how I created my little airbrushing stencil. And let's bring this screen up. This is slightly sped up. So what I've got here, obviously I'm protecting my work surface. Always, always, please do that when you're using X-Acto knife. I don't have a cutter machine, like a silhouette machine or stencil cutter. So I am using an ancient method of making this stencil, which is with an X-Acto knife, or you can use scissors, but I find X-Acto works really well. So what I've got there, I've got my template, which is on cardstock. There, then I have a piece of mylar. I wanted to airbrush my controllers on my transfer sheet, and as you've seen, they are pretty close together. So it makes sense to make the stencil somewhat small, and then I can just use, and you'll see me using little magnets to weight the stencil down, so I can airbrush the openings. Okay, and so here I am putting a masking tape over my little mylar sheet, and what I'll do, I'll use a fine marker, and I will just trace this onto the masking tape. If I was to draw this directly on a mylar, it's a plastic sheet, very smooth and slick, and so it smears easily. anything kind of like I've tried so many different things, but it just smears so easily. So the masking tape works really well. So it stays there and then I can just peel it off and it comes off. No problems. And I can also secure it onto the cutting board so it's not moving as I'm trying to cut it. I've done this many times, so I'm pretty comfortable using an X-Acto knife. If you are not comfortable using an X-Acto knife, I would say maybe don't use it. I don't want anyone to have any injuries. Just take your time and be slow. It's okay if you take little breaks, but I've done this so many times, I'm pretty quick. And so now I'm just going to carefully remove the tape, and my first stencil is done. I was going to just have one stencil, but then you'll see I changed my mind because here is my first stencil. I made these two eyes, right? And this is for the two controller sections or whatever they are. But my problem was, how am I going to determine when I'm trying to airbrush really quickly? Is it in the right spot? Is it like, I wanted to make sure that it's centered and it's all like kind of uniformed. So that's why I also designed this. I made the second stencil. So I then kind of glued them together, if you will. So I layered two stencils, and then I can see the outline of my controller. And when I'm airbrushing, I know exactly that my two holes are in a perfect spot and I can airbrush. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little complicated. I made a birthday cake for my nephew when he was a teenager with a PlayStation remote control on the top that I made, and I made the remote out of Twinkies and other edible items. This is fantastic. I love that. I also, now I can't find it. I couldn't find it, or I forgot. I made a remote control, like Petit Fours, but they were round. I can't, maybe if I remember next week, I'll try to find that recipe because it's been a while. All right, so now let's bring, okay, first let me show you. You guys asked me many times about the airbrush I used, and shameless plug. This is a picture from Amazon, but this is the airbrush I have. You see the big compressor there? It's the suction cups. They're a wonderful thing, but if you put that thing on a table, it shakes like crazy and it will fall off the table. So I don't ever have this on a table. I actually have it in a very kind of heavy duty box. And so it just stays there, and it doesn't travel across the room, but it's just like, it just gives off a bit of vibration. And I've had this for 12 years now. So this is the one I use. I know I am in need of a wireless airbrush. But when you're getting wireless airbrush, I've been told that it's not as strong as this airbrush. This is designed for it's so strong. With wireless, the gun perhaps, because they are cheaper, the gun probably is not the same quality. So perhaps get a separate gun for airbrushing. Okay, so this is the one I have, and I also put all the tools and recipes are listed. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook doesn't allow me to do that. Yes, that is the beast. Yes, that is the correct name. Yes. So I put everything in to the, where is it? Into the description box under the video on YouTube. So you've got their templates and all the links to the baking meds and tools that we are using today, airbrush, food colors, and so on. All right, so let's go. Oh, okay. Is it interrupting I have to have a look. Sorry about that, Judy and Melody. I have to have a look what's going on after live. I have a wireless system, and I might prefer the one I plug in. It has more power, and can be adjusted, and I don't have to worry about it being charged. Yes, I mean, there are obviously there are pros and cons to both you know, both of the systems. I mean, I can't really take this on a plane with me. That would be the only thing I would be taking on plane with the restrictions on the weight, I think. Um, I will have to check what's going on after the live stream. I don't know. Maybe I accidentally switched something on about the ads. Sorry, folks. All right. Let's go back to the airbrushing bit so we don't get sidetracked. All right. So here is my little stencil that I devised. You see, and I have got 2 magnets there, and it's perfectly fine. They keep everything kind of in place. And what I've done here, instead of black, okay, you see it's coming, it kind of looks black, but it's not black. I am using royal blue, airbrush food coloring, and touch of black to make kind of like a navy bluish, navy bluish color. I didn't want to use completely black because I felt like it would be too dark. All right, so now I'm airbrushing 2 holes onto my my controller. Now we can pick it up and move on and place it on another one. Let's do this again. And you can place it on top, and you see how that opening is helping figure out where I need to have my holes so they are centered and everything is even. All right. Now I also decided, you see, with the same color, I decided to airbrush the outer edge, and it just brings everything to a different perspective, at least for me. What do you guys think? I think it just makes these pop a bit more. And then once you are done with all the airbrushing, we still have to add finishing touches on these. I mean, you could use them as they are, but if you wanted to make them even better, you could add some of the buttons. And so I'm using black royal icing. This is like a soft piping consistency here. So I'm just piping across. And then we're going to use 4 colors. I don't know if I mean, I looked at different, there are so many different controllers on the market, and they all have different colors. Honestly, I don't know what button, like what all these buttons are, I have to say. I mean, I know there is up and down and right and left and all that, like, but I'm not a gamer, so I mean, I haven't played video game in a long time with a controller like this. Anyway, so now I'm adding the dots. This also could be about soft piping consistency. If you see any spikes there, you can use your scribe tool and just very lightly smooth that top. Judy, it's perhaps it's something I have done. I've been kind of switching things around, so I have to see if I clicked on something. Maybe I did. Maybe it's my fault. I apologize. And now we can come in with the red. And that will conclude this, that will conclude the controller design, the transfer, okay? So those will need to dry for additional, I would say, an hour or so, just to make sure that the dots are fully dry. And then you can actually keep them on your transfer sheet. There's no need to remove them if you're not going to use them right away. You could keep them on a transfer sheet and then remove them later. Colleen has a question. What if we don't have an airbrush? If you don't have the airbrush, what you could do, what I would do, I think, instead of doing it, I was thinking of doing it wet on wet, but it will be, again, for me, because it's a curse to try to do things perfectly, but now perfection is Perfection is what's toxic, not toxic. Maybe it is toxic also, but like I would perhaps use this. Let me bring this up if I can get this. Okay. Oh, I did it! Yay! Okay, so what I would do, I would perhaps use this stencil, and I would just. I wish I had one that was plain. I would just put it on the top, and I would use marker, and I would just make the circle with the marker, and I think that would that would suffice. And then the outer edge, if you wanted to really do that, you could use brown petal dust, I think, or they probably have like a bluish petal dust or something like that to give it a bit of a more interesting look. Or you could use, again, you could use a marker. You could use a fine tip marker and add you know, like the controllers, they have the texture on a controller. Sometimes it's like there is like a grid texture, like a so you could do that. Well, I don't know why is this so dark. Let's see. I mean, you could add lines perhaps, you know, to, I don't know. This is, I'm just making this up. I have no idea how, if this is how it looks. I think there is a home icon somewhere here. You could do that. You know, like I don't know if this has a, maybe here we could add some grid. I don't know if you can see. Can you see anything? I'm just thinking if you wanted to, you could do that. I think that I believe that will be great. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do, once these are dry, it's super simple to remove them. Now I wanted to show you, well, it's perhaps better to remove them this way. The reason is this is too long, but these are fully dry, so I think it will be fine. But if you're working with stencil that is prolonged, right, I would perhaps remove it this way so you don't create too much pressure on the middle part. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because this is kind of even, so it's going to be fine. But here, there is going to be pressure. You're putting more pressure on the middle, so likelihood of it breaking, it's higher, I think, anyway. That's what my brain is telling me. I love this. I should have done some with the markers. Those would be really cool. And what you could do, I mean, if you wanted to personalize that, I love that, your question. You could perhaps add a name or something, you know, write a little name, or I don't know, you know, the people that you making the cookies for, a little message or something that they will recognize, and it will make it even more special. All right, so here I've got my cookie here. But before we get to finish these, I also wanted to share some of the cookies you guys. Well, you guys, it was, I think we have cookies from Sally. So Sally is still keeping up with the summer. Thank you. These are lovely. I love the polka dots. You know how much I love polka dots. And I can't get over these. These are fantastic. I just adore these. I don't know if you use markers, but I just love the look of these. Fantastic. And these make me happy. I can't believe you use markers. Another summer theme. These are all from Sally, guys. And I think this is the last set. This is these are little like 3D cakes that Sally made, lightly inspired by the ones I made several years ago. So I love how you put your own spin on these. Thank you for sending the pictures. And if you want to share your pictures, guys, don't forget to share them with me. I would absolutely love to share them with the world. Don't be shy. I know many of you think that it's not good enough. Like you write, oh, I don't think it's good enough. It is good enough. So don't be scared. All right, so here's my cookie. This is fully iced and fully dry. And so we're gonna be talking more more templates. Sorry. Yes, I agree. Sally is extremely talented, and if you haven't, I mean, you haven't seen anything because she made this bread with like a lattice outer layer, and it's out of this world. I want to learn how to do that. Yes, I love the idea of the message. So let me know if you try it, and I would love to see how it looks. All right, so here's my little cookie here, and the idea is to, let's say, if you're doing one, it's okay, but if you're doing, let's say, 10, okay, you want to kind of make sure that it's centered. So I have a little. If you have a projector, you're fine. If you don't have a projector and you're second guessing yourself, this might speed up things for you. So this is a little stencil that I often will use if I have to do some writing on cookies and I want to make sure that it's in the same spot. I will put this on the top and then I'll just write the message there, so it's within the perimeter of this shape. So when I lift it up, it all looks in the same kind of area. Okay, so it's not outside here or here. And then same with this, how we've got the game on writing that we want to put on this cookie. So I printed this, and this is also this is also in the template shop, in the coffee shop. If you are just joining in, I'm going to put that in again. And also the newsletter, guys, if you wanted to keep up with what's happening in the world of Hanielas, you can, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Oh my God, robot. You can sign up for the newsletter here. Sally is so amazing. She donates her treats, and I think it's wonderful. All right. So the newsletter, and also here is the link to the coffee template. All right, let's do that again. Let me grab the link. And there is also the game on writing there. There are many ways you can well, there are several ways how you can transfer the writing onto a cookie. Today we're going to be using popular tissue method. Now, with the tissue method, it's not the tissue like this tissue, okay? It's not this tissue that you use when you need to clear your nasal passages. It's not this tissue. It's the packaging tissue. It's this tissue that you can use to trace the letters or any kind of design. This is thin enough so the ink seeps through. Most of the tissues that I worked with, they have one side it's somewhat smooth and one side it's kind of like raw. It has a raw texture. So what I like to do, I like to write my message on a smooth side, and then we're going to place it on icing and then write over it. And that color, food color that we use, not food coloring, edible marker that we use, the ink seeps through and it leaves a very light outline that you can then use to write. You can then just use it to pipe with. You can pipe over it with icing. Okay. So I already have here my game on. I'm not gonna do that. So I actually have two game on. But you know what I mean? Like if I didn't have this little template here. So what I did, I put my tissue paper on this. I've got clear packaging tape over it so I don't damage it. And I just placed it over it and I went over with a marker, and that's how it got there. Now, if I didn't have this little template, right? Now, how would I know where it's the right, spot? So with this little template here, or stencil, whatever you want to call it. I know that I have it here, so I need to move this up a little bit so it's somewhat centered. Yeah, does it make sense? And this is, you can just use your cutter and trace it onto a cardstock or piece of paper and then cut it out. Super easy to do. Okay. Now we can remove this. I'm just gonna trust my instinct that it's gonna be good. Now, let's go over the letters. When you're decorating, I want you to make sure that you are actually breathing. So take some deep breaths when you're decorating. I find myself holding a breath like, oh my God, my life depends on this. If you have a projector, you can use a projector. Another popular method is, and I have shown you how to do this in a live and also on Patreon. It's with the old-fashioned carbon copy method where you use a mirrored image or mirrored writing or image essentially, and you trace it onto the cookie. But for that, we usually use non-toxic pencils. There is a, now I hope you can see it. Yes. It's barely visible, right? I'm gonna have to fix the end a little bit. But we can see it. I think I can see it, right? Okay. Depends on the marker. These were not very expensive markers, and I don't like them very much. They don't have a lot of ink in them. But I didn't want to use my expensive rainbow dust. All right, so here I've got Game On there. Now we're going to outline. Oh, the tissue was tearing. Yes, that is, I guess this is tissue from tissue, I suppose. It can be tearing, and you can you can come across that problem. If you do a lot of writing on cookies, it would be wise to invest in projector. That will save you some time and perhaps headache when it comes to tracing the letters onto the cookies. And also the other method could be perhaps better for you if you don't mind using a toxic pencil. Oh, toxic, oh God. Don't quote me on that. Toxic pencil, non-toxic pencil, oh please. Ooh, non-toxic. I don't mean toxic. Okay. All right, so here in my bag, I do have a black icing. I had to make some black, but it's not too bad. And so I've got it in a tipless piping bag. And this is about like a soft piping consistency. I wanted to use icing that I can use for outlining and immediately I can fill in so I don't have to have two different consistencies. And also I didn't want to kind of be not bothered, but worry about cratering. Linda, in water, I can't hold my breath longer than maybe 30 seconds, but when I decorate, it feels like, yes, I know where you're coming from. Exactly. I'm perhaps the same. Can hold the breath under the water for too long. But yeah, when I'm decorating, it's like, yeah, like my life depends on it. But underwater, yeah, It really doesn't, right? This is where I would use a stencil, an airbrush, and scrape icing over a stencil. Yes, you can do that. Yes, if you have a game on stencil, you can absolutely do that. You can, if you can create your own stencil with a stencil machine. There is an A. I mean, you need some bridges there, so you can absolutely do that. I'm just showing a different technique. Okay. Hopefully, I can do this with my with my eyes partially covered. Now I hope I can see my, okay. Oops, something is in there. All right. Last one. Alrighty. Woo. It would definitely be better with a stencil. I agree. But if you don't have a stencil, or if you want to do this writing, you can do it like this, where you use a little tissue paper, you trace it on, and then you are ready to do some letters. Oh, this is a workout. All right, so now we just have to glue this on, and then we can do the outlining. The outlining you can do with the icing, or you can do it with a marker. Marker, it's obviously faster. Oh, I don't have my white icing here, so I will just use black. Yes, I did it. I'm gonna have to take a shower after. Okay, so we're just going to add some icing on the back. Ideally, I would like to use white or something like that. I don't have the white on here on a table, so I'm just gonna add some black on there, and then we're just gonna place it on about here. And I always use a little bit of shifting motion. It's like a soft piping consistency. I like that because it does move on its own a little bit. It's not the traditional piping where it's like a soft, like the pipe bead goes down, but it's like soft. All right. So now for the outline, here is the outline. You see, I did it with the icing, so you can use the same icing. However, ideally, I would like to have the opening slightly bigger because this is very small. So I'm making the opening on the back just a bit bigger. And I also need to wipe my hands. Football season is coming up. I agree. So you could instead of the controller, you could perhaps put football, or you could even have a goal, the yellow goal with the football. For the football season, I think there is a plethora of different stencils available, so you could use stencils for that. But I do like the football when it's a bit more dimensional, when it's done as a transfer. All right, so I will not lie. I will have this in front of me here, and I will just copy what I did. Football season. When does it start, football season? I mean, I need to get more organized when it comes to sports. All right, so let's start at the very bottom here, if we can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. And this outline, I find it does not have to be perfect. If you make a little bubbles here and there, it's perfectly fine. And then let's do another here. Do you think, guys, I should focus on the sports? Maybe next couple of lives. Let me know. Okay, let's do the bottom one. I'm not really, see, I'm gonna do a little break. It's okay. Now let's start here. Okay, let's do a line across here. Oops, let's connect. And let's do another one here. Okay, and I need a break. So let's see. I'm gonna see the comment. Oh, Linda, you're so sweet. Thank you. I also love the idea of the soccer, but the little soccer ball would be I think the stencil might be the best for the little soccer ball, because you'll spend hours on doing that, or just maybe simplify it. And also baseball. I would like a baseball, or even anything. Anything you can. Tennis, football season is coming up. I like the one with the outline. It kicks the design up a notch. Yes, I agree. But like I said, you can also use a marker. If you are in a hurry, you could just do that with a marker, and it's a bit quicker. US preseason has started. Does football season ever stop? Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I wonder, like, I always hear or see something related to football. For the NFL, they are playing preseason games now, and the regular season is in early September. Well, that's almost here, early September, right? I was never a huge fan of NFL. I have to say, I don't understand the game. I did enjoy watching the Super Bowl. It was really fun, but mostly like I like the ads and just the thrill of it. But I don't like I guess I don't understand the game. I never learned. I feel like it's just not my cup of tea. But absolutely, yes, any sports would work. Yes, I no, I think, yeah, it does. It doesn't it? It's such a simple thing. Just the outline. Now we have to do. You can leave it like that. I'm gonna attempt to do the color here. Okay. And let's do it closer here, like this. Okay. Ta-da! Game on. Now we can play some games. All right. But you guys, so would you let me? Oh, I need to turn my camera like this. So here we go. I think also these would look great in red instead of gray. If you did red, like really nice red, but again, that's hard to sometimes achieve. But the red would make it really pop. So here, hockey season. Hockey season is starting about a week ago. Preseason games are on. I think season starts in about 2 weeks. Feels too soon. I want more summer. Yeah, I know you said you finally got some sun, and now it's leaving you. But guys, I want to remind you, you still have one day. I think it's still almost full. You can see the super blue moon. I don't know where you are. Where would you be watching? But here it's fantastic. This is the third day. We started watching it on Sunday. I think it peaked on Monday, but I believe today it's still. You can still see the rare super blue moon in the sky when you look up at night. So I hope you will be able to catch the glimpse of it if it's not too cloudy or if it's not raining where you are. Colleen likes the gray. Thank you. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, a reminder, if you enjoyed the live stream, don't forget to give it thumbs up. It's much appreciated. And I will be back next week. I have not decided on a theme yet, but since we are kind of gearing up towards the fall and even perhaps Halloween. Oh, it's blood red. Wow, it's amazing. I'm very fortunate here because we live by the sea, so we watch the sunset by the beach, and yeah, we watch the moon, and it's just so magical to see it. So up, it seems so close. I know it's not, but it is so close. Oh, I suppose it's not in all the parts of the world. Yeah, just like the solar eclipse, we didn't have any of that here, but I think United States, like North America, you were able to see it. So guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today. It was always a pleasure to spend some time with you. If you are new to cookie decorating, I also wanted to remind you, you can check out my Domestica course. It covers all the aspects of cookie decorating. Let me just do a shameless plug and put the link in in the comment section before we say our final goodbyes for 7 days. And I hope you have a wonderful. We have 2 more weeks of August, I think, or is it? Yeah, two. I think 2 more weeks of August. I hope we have a you have a wonderful 3rd week of August. Thank you so much. And could you do okay? Could you do a fall theme or even football theme cookie? Yes, I could. I have your um red cardinal on the list, Judy, too. I have that on the list. So thank you for I need the suggestions because sometimes, like yeah, I need your suggestions. So thank you very much for that. Fall themed or even football themed cookie. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye, guys.